All right, guys, welcome back to Chasing 4-5. Our new format is match review. And yeah, I'm Lyman, Bryce here. He's in a different setting today. Uh, he's at his special meeting room. So we're gonna look at another match today, and we're gonna walk through and break down what went well, what could we improve on, and yeah, maybe talk a little bit about strategy. Mostly doubles lately, so I think coming up in the near future, we're gonna have more singles matches, especially if I start playing tournaments again. So look, like, subscribe, and that way you can keep following the journey. Um, but as we're reviewing, we're a little behind on the reviews right now, so we're trying to play catch up with everything. So be patient. Um, Bryce and I was just talking about my last match, which will be reviewed in probably a week or two. Well, I played two matches over the weekend, so and then we could probably review the one set with Leslie as well later on. That
Yeah,
singles, it was
no,
like,
no.
yeah, that was interesting. I played one set with Leslie, and I was down 5-1, and I won 7-5. So. It was a slog to climb back up, and but he was just wailing at shots, and it was pretty interesting. So look forward for that video. Okay, let me share my screen.
Oh, I see what you mean. This is the match you want to post after the first match that you played this weekend?
Uh,
That's why you were like, oh, it doesn't. Well, I was just gonna say it's interesting because like it's important. I feel like if we're gonna record everything or like most things, might as well record how you feel about the match, right? Because you're talking about how consistency, like putting the ball in play offers so much more, and you're like winning a lot, which is good.
so this is a 4-0 4-0 doubles match. My partner, I don't think he's a 4-0, if I remember correctly. Um, I mean, just rating wise, yeah, I don't think he's a 4-0. The other two, they were rated like a mid to high 4-0, supposedly like 3.8 or something like that. Um,
Okay, wait, I thought that you're like rounded up to the nearest um point, right? Or half point?
no, actually uh so if you're a 4-0, USTA would have your number at 3.5. I know it's kind of counterintuitive, but yeah, that's how they rate it apparently. Um, so my tennis record rating right now is like a 3.5 something or another.
Okay,
3.55.
so you're saying he's above 4-0 or no?
No,
If
he's
he's
not
three.
he's not at 4.0 yet. So he's like 3.49 or something, 3.43 or something like that.
Oh, okay, I see, I see.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, you guys are moving really well. That's a good thing. I don't know if that's because you guys are like communicating at all or like screaming yes, no, mine.
Uh,
Um, but this last two games, it's just you guys like covering the net well. Like you're moving a lot across the net, and it seems like he like kind of slots into your spot pretty well, and you guys are aggressive as well.
yeah, I was communicating a little bit more. You can kind of hear, I don't think the audio comes through for some reason on Zoom, but you can hear me. like I'll say yours. I don't say mine a lot unless it's like I was like, oh, I'll say I got it. But lately I've been, I mean, you're talking about this match, but lately I've been saying like, oh, yours to make sure that, hey, I'm not gonna go for it kind of deal. Um,
Okay.
uh,
I don't if you remember, I don't know, but it's interesting. Yeah, yeah, definitely try to as much as possible say like yours and not just once, like you're screaming it multiple times, like it's an alarm. If we go back a couple points maybe to the last game, I think there's a lot of spaces where like you're covering the net well, and when you're at the net you're good, but there are moments where you could get to the net a little earlier. Oh man, my back itches. Like here, whenever he's taking like a really high ball, that's your cue to kind of run in. Uh,
yeah, yeah. I think,
so
yeah, I've been noticing that a little bit more, trying like reading what the situation is. I definitely didn't do it during this match.
or yeah, no, that's okay. It's not like every single time. Like if you go back to the yeah, okay, so if you go back like 2 points, 2 or 3
Okay.
points, I think. Um,
19.
very slow for me. Sure, yeah. Okay, so here ball pops up. If you pause right now, oh, never mind. But basically, like he's having this really loopy ball that you have to go get. If you hit that well and you push him back like how you did here, like look how far back he is.
Uh-huh.
Um, like anytime you see someone off balance or like trying to reach really high up for the ball, especially if they're on their backhand side and you see them stretch,
Yeah.
that's like your cue. It's like visual cue. They're not going to be paying attention. They're stretching. They're out of position trying to get the ball and they just want to get it in. That's your cue. Obviously, be aware that like the ball might come back just as loopy, but you're taking maybe a cheat step, like you're what's that thing in baseball, like you're cheating the base or something? Like you
Mm-hmm.
kind of want to be inching forward and being like, okay, yeah, if he hits like to my partner, or if he doesn't hit like a high, moon ball back, and the ball is probably going to be short, that's my cue. Next one I approach in. So this one you guys win, but like still, just like kind of these are some visual cues. Another one is like if you're in the next 2 points, like if your partner gets the overhead, another cue to run in. So just
Got it.
training on that.
Okay.
Being aware. It's not like a big deal if you don't do it every time. It's just like these are subtle hints that like you can take. So that
Yeah.
overhead, yeah. For you, maybe there could have been another overhead, or you might have to run back. But the more you're in the court, the more like intimidation, better court position you're getting. Great hands, great hands. Nice. That was nice hands. How's your volleys?
Uh, Better for the most part. The I feel like I can like my reactions faster or I'm reading a little bit better. They oh, I did get it.
Oh, nice
Um,
play.
yeah, like as long as I like if I don't keep moving back and plant as like right before they hit, I'm able to like get the ball back for the most part.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm still not like good at directing right away, but um at least I'm getting the ball back even if they hit it a little harder. Um and trying to keep the ball in play. Yeah.
You sent me a video a little bit while back about what's her name, Kathy or something, that like she used to be world number one women's doubles, where it's just a little girl hitting against the wall
Oh
on volley.
yeah. Yeah, they're so fast.
Yeah, you should try to like get some wall ball time. Um, I hope you guys are calling that when you guys switch. Like call, switch.
We
Good.
we did not.
Um,
At least I don't think so.
especially like oh, actually another thing. If you rewind to that point, um,
Let's see.
maybe 2 points from maybe 30 or 31.
That
Where are we? Why is it so slow? I don't know.
this one.
He's maybe the next one. He's at net. Yeah,
This.
so it's next one. So if you hit, the context is like, yeah, this one. So if you see that happening, you gotta tell them like back, or like it's bad. So that's another thing that you have to communicate too, is like whenever we're popping the ball up and our opponents are taking overhead, you have to indicate that to your partner that it's not good, especially if they're at the net. Obviously, if they're at the
Okay.
baseline, it's more obvious. But you scream a warning, you know.
Yeah. So I kind of yeah, that makes sense. So was it this one? Here he comes up and then yeah, so I hit it. No, that one's not that short though.
That's okay because they're not taking an overhead. But
Oh,
here,
this one,
you see
yeah,
how,
back.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
like
yeah,
it's not even as a strategy, it's like as a courtesy, right? Like you don't want your partner to get pegged by the ball.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and would be nice for you too if you were in his position to get a warning. So, um, but yeah, back to the, you should get some wall ball time with just hitting some volleys back and forth, forehand, backhand, and then do forehands, backhand. Um, just to really like practice how fast you have to turn and so little, you're not swinging. That's how you control the ball when you're hitting against the wall. Um, wow. Yeah, you guys are fast today.
Yeah, my partner's pretty fast. Moves well, and he was doing. We were playing really well in the first set. Um, and then I don't know what happened in the second set, but we got completely destroyed. We couldn't put two and two together.
Hmm.
So
Interesting.
we lost the first set 6-4. These guys are pretty, I mean, nothing crazy with them. They're steady, you know? They don't really
Yeah,
miss. They didn't really serve super hard. Uh, I don't
interesting.
know. Yeah. Um, and
I think one thing that could be a really good tool for you is to, uh, by default, if your opponents are at the net, you're hitting at their waist height. So you have a ball, a shot that you can pick. It's, and that's your default shot, is to just hit where it's right. It goes, obviously goes over the net, and then once it's over the net, it drops.
hmm,
It's like, I wouldn't say like I'm hitting the ball low. Like if you watch when I hit volleys with somebody, if I'm at the baseline, they're volleying, the ball just drops immediately. Like it drops, it would drop at their feet and like a body length or two,
hmm,
or it would bounce in the body length or two, but it goes right over the net. And so anybody that's volleying has to get below the net or like pop the ball up and get below the net, and push up instead of volleying downwards. So it, I think by, if that's your shot by default to hit against the opponents at when they're both at net against the net players, I think that would help you a lot in winning points and buying yourself more time. Because it's a difficult shot for them to hit back. Uh, yeah, I think that's something that maybe with like a ball machine or with a partner you should train at, is just like getting the ball to drop immediately. So it requires some dexterity on the forearm, some spin. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you feel like you hit like that by default or.
um, I can I think when I do it, it's not on purpose.
Okay.
I can't hit that shot, that one that goes right at the waist and then dips down. Um, like when it crosses the net, right? Just drives it, just a
I
really
sort of
heavy
right.
topspin. Is that what you're talking about?
It's not heavy topspin. It's just like it's a low ball, and the moment it crosses the net, like I'm aiming for it to just drop immediately, for it to be short.
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it just
I don't think I do it on purpose. Like it's not a purposeful shot, but I think for me, I just try to um keep the ball low, and but it's like a really low margin of error because right, it's like just kind of dip over. I do it every once in a while. It's not very often though.
okay. Well, that's like something you should probably train.
Okay.
Just work on like the one of the things that wins me a lot of points, especially in doubles, is having a lot of like flexibility in how I change my spin on my forehand. So like the dexterity of my forearm's great, and that like I can either hit that really low ball and just have it drop right after the net, and they have to bend down and pick it up. And usually for them it wins me points because they hit it right in the net. Or I'm lobbing them really well because I'm putting a lot of spin and it's very loopy. So the reason why I had last week, I don't know if you're gonna edit this in, but last week the drill was to hit one cross court in the when you're in the court, one cross court ball when you're really deep. So just developing this like forearm flexibility and how you're swinging and brushing the ball is super important, and that like it passes down to doubles too because you want to be able to manipulate the ball really well in any either high or low directions.
Hmm. Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
One thing that I don't know if you picked up on, but like this, your partner's a very fast person, like both in terms of footwork, but also like the pace of the game. One thing that kind of started happening is that you guys were still playing really fast in terms of pace, but I think a lot of the in a lot of the points, your opponents kind of got used to that and were started. I don't know. I don't know if they're intentionally playing like back the strategy or they're just like more adjusted to the timing or something like that. But they're able to keep up with that pace versus I think initially it seemed like they were losing because of how fast you guys are playing and how well your partner is able to cover the court. But now I assume this is second set. It's not happening as much. They're not caught off guard versus you guys are still kind of like trying to hit and play a very fast game.
Yeah. The I'm trying to remember what happened. Um, couldn't put points together, and then try to lob a little out.
Nice. Oh,
Yeah, that's a little out. I think
I think Swing Vision's having a field day or something. What's going on?
yeah, they're still having a little trouble. Yeah, Peter's able to the, pick up stuff off the net. Trying to think what was happening. Uh, yeah, like we started making mistakes like that. I think that was in. I really got bend my legs.
um, I think one thing is like if you have the opportunity, like maybe in these second set scenarios, is just to like keep things cross court as much as possible, like play really easy high percentage balls. Like I feel like a lot of shots maybe don't make a lot of sense. Like you seem like you guys are putting a little bit of pressure on yourselves or taking some risks in terms of shot choice. So like there, your partner's like hitting down the line when he really doesn't need to, um, like cutting back to basics. So in that scenario, if you go back to that point, like it should be him maintaining cross court, you putting pressure, trying to get a poach, and just keep it like that. Especially if you guys feel like things have been tense and like the points are not going the way you want, or you're not feeling any sort of construction. So here's another point. Uh, we'll wait for it to finish and we can rewind. But like first set, you're covering the point really well. If you want to replay it,
Yeah,
but
I saw it. Like, I think it was here. I went for the poach. He didn't cross. I went to try to recover. And then what happened here? He got it. And then it went out.
like this point, like you don't have to if you feel like you're tense, don't post, like rely on the baseline skills because you guys hopefully are playing well and able to at least keep cross courts in and build the point from there. Like it doesn't have to be a rush that you have to go poach. Even though this first set maybe that went really well. But in the second set maybe your opponents are more adjusted to things where they're playing more high percentage.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah, it definitely felt like we were all completely out of position. Um, Played a little too tight.
Yeah, like I would definitely like if you feel like your opponents are trying to catch up again, it's just like keep things cross court, build the point at a very basic level. Oh, great pass. Don't hit down the line, don't go across the court so much. Because even though you're fast, like people change and they adjust their strategies. Um,
We
yeah, I
definitely
mean,
had more errors in the second set too. Just uh, and
I mean, don't like get super frustrated about like errors, but like with that point, like you guys maybe could have like that was a variation of another like the past 2 points, right? Where you guys have this net play situation, and that in that point you guys weren't both at net, but here you guys are. Like you don't have to necessarily put yourself in that position. You could win points just from putting a lot of pressure from your net player while you yourself are playing cross court or something like that. Um, versus like having to be at the net and scramble and then end up committing a lot of errors.
mm-hmm. Was that it? No.
I don't know. I just like don't feel like you have to put yourself in that position to be at the net all the time. We look to be at the net, but like if we can win in easier ways, we should.
Yeah, I understand.
Um, but you're covering the net really well, which is really good. You're fast, good footwork. So yeah, compared to like a couple of months ago, how do you feel about doubles?
Uh, I feel pretty good about doubles. Like it it almost seems easier than singles now. I I'm able to at least direct my shots a little bit better. I've been playing a lot of ad side on doubles actually. Most of the time I'm on ad.
That
Um,
was a good transition to net though. The way that you got to net was good.
oh, I missed it. Let me see.
Um,
Was it this one or this one?
yeah, yeah, I feel like this was a very uh good way to get to net. So you're always moving back into the court, right? Good, taking the opportunity instead of going back. Negas are at net. Yeah, it's good that you got there. Um, so yeah, outside, do you feel like, because like a couple months ago you would tell me like, or like maybe half a year ago you would say like, oh, I don't know where to be at net or in doubles.
Yeah, definitely less of that now. For the most part, I know where I need to be. I'm still working on like when to come time. Um,
Oof.
I think it'll help when like I'm not looking back because I depending who I play with, right? Depending who I play with, yeah, makes a little bit of a difference because like Andrew, I know exactly where he is for the most part. Um, when I play with another guy, Gino, like I know and he'll tell me as well, right? If I need a switch or um, and then knowing kind of what the ball is going to look like by looking at the net player really helps. When I see the net player kind of like his eyes like light up, oh I got to get back is a really good indication if nobody tells me that it's short. Because you can totally see because the net player is like, oh my God, there's this soft ball coming. I get to smash. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get back. Um, I think that's really helped a lot in the last couple months. And I've been playing a lot of doubles. And the only time been playing singles is with Leslie, really, or the tournament. So I I need to get more singles in, but in terms of doubles, yes. Oh, it's over. Okay, well, finish my last thought on doubles. I think the review of these matches has helped me think about where I need to be, how I'm moving. Even the drill we did when we were at Dad's, where you made
Yeah.
me go move in that triangle, helps a lot. Like I f- I feel like that's all I'm kind of doing in the beginning. Is like, okay, um, try to cover, see where they're at, and then am I moving to and then shift back a little bit while my partner's hitting, and then when it crosses, then I come in and see where I need to be. Um, it's not super efficient, but I don't know. It's enough movement to make the opponents a little uncomfortable, I've noticed. The more I move, the more they kind of like will chuck shots, especially if I do like I always fake that I'm going to poach and go for it, but I don't. And then I like
Hmm.
reset back to the center just to make sure I cover, especially if the ball's out wide. Like if they take them out wide, I don't want them to pass. And I cut that off and they're forced to go cross court.
Right.
Um,
I mean, you can play like maybe 3 points back. 3 points back, your partner's doing the exact same thing. Like, opponents hit in the net, and you guys are winning the point because of how well he's covering the net. He's putting pressure. Like the even just the way that you're like, okay, I'm gonna potentially poach, right? If they don't go down the line for the opponents, it's always I need to hit this ball cleaner and tighter and more more angle than usual. And how do I do that? Well, that requires more skill, that requires more attention, requires more focus, right? So
yeah.
making things difficult for your opponent.
In the last match on this one on Sunday, I I I had trouble focusing. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I played a set with Leslie in the morning, not expecting to play a couple hours later, you know? And and by the time we got to the second set, and freaking got bageled. It's like luckily we won the first set and we picked a super tie for the third, but I mean, we could not put two and two together. It was crazy.
Mm.
Um, I'm trying to remember our opponents. Our yeah, our opponents were one guy had really good touch at the net, had a really like crazy slice serve. My partner had trouble with. Um, yeah, and the other guy had a good first serve, just flat with decent pace. They were tough. They didn't make a lot of mistakes. And then my partner, he can play 4-0. I mean, but he's not rated 4-0, so I don't know. And but he came in clutch at the end. Like at the end, he totally like um won the match for us. So amazing points. But uh, I mean, this is I would say this was not my best day.
Playing two
Like
matches in one day though?
no, not that one.
Oh,
Talking about the one that we just looked at. So there, when I was playing with after the match with Andrew, he asked me like, how would I rate myself, right, on that match? And I was like, oh, probably like a 7. He's like, yeah, probably an 8 out of 10. Um, I think for this match, I probably started off like a 7 or 8, and then I felt like I was playing at like a 4 in the second set.
okay.
But I don't know.
That's
Um,
okay. I feel like you piece together a lot of other parts. You're covering the court, you're moving really well. Um, just the way that you're holding net and you're moving around is important. Like that was not so much of a thing a month ago. So you're moving at the net really fast.
I'll keep working on it. I think th from the live drill, that episode will should have been released by the time this episode gets released. I've edited the live coaching already, and oh, I don't have the volleys in there. But the volley drill that you had me do with the hands, I kind of did at the match the other day, and it just to speed, like make sure I speed up a little bit and control my hands. It actually worked. Yeah, I didn't do it the whole time, but I started to implement that a little bit. So, and I could feel it a little faster. Like I
I mean,
move a little faster.
if it
It's
didn't
weird.
work, it'd be weird. It's been passed down by generations of coaches, so
Yeah, yeah.
it just as a heads up.
Well, it's more not that it worked. It was the point wasn't that it worked, that I was able to like pull it out and use it during a
Okay.
match. I think that's what I meant. Not that oh it works. It's more I actually utilized um what what we were working on during a match, like in the middle of a match. I like thought about it and go, you know what, I'm gonna just do that while during the match to, keep myself in control at the net. And it worked.
I
No.
was gonna say you should if you, I don't know if you ever hold team practices because I realized when I was back this winter that my friend's team does, and you should run scenarios where okay, forehands cross court, after the third ball, third ball lob, and then you play out the point, or then switch to backhand side, and then switch who's at net. And I know like it's weird to like, because like right now I've been telling you, you gotta like communicate and scream, yes, no, mine. Um, but that's a way to practice it is to be like, hey, everyone, this sounds stupid, but we're gonna all scream mine, 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 yours during today's practice as like our theme. Then it doesn't sound weird doing it later.
Mm, okay. I'll look at it. Uh, sorry, I was doing something else. Yeah. We do have team practice. Actually, I'm not on that team, but one of
Okay,
the
never
I was on that team, but I'm on a different team.
mind.
Uh, both teams have practices, but but the practice they just usually just play like sets. They don't have like that strategy of like, oh, let's do this scenario and then play out the point. Does that make sense?
Yes, yeah. I know at various levels, people like to just play points. And it's not the best thing, but I know people, we're all adults and people want to do what they want. So,
Yeah. I mean, I could probably find a group to do it like Alan. I think Alan will do like drills specific. Alex, my friend buddy Alex would definitely do it. So I can probably pull a group of four guys, or three other
yeah,
guys to do those drills. So let's kind of map those out and just be like, here are some good doubles drills that we can work on. Especially with the 18 plus 4-0 coming up. I haven't decided on a team yet. Um,
I mean, like, there's gonna be a group out there in your team that's motivated and want to train and like getting better. I don't know, you're a real estate agent, you gotta sell it.
yeah,
Getting
yeah,
better means we win more, means we play more, and it's more fun and more dynamic. I don't know.
yeah.
So
I think it'll help if I have those drills on hand. So
I'll send some over.
yeah,
Yeah,
if you give me like the scenarios, I can definitely work on that. Um, yeah, I would like to work on that because those are like real scenarios. Then like you can't just play a play points and think that those scenarios will pop up. I mean, they may pop up, but if you know that you know how to handle certain situations, I think that'd be great. Let me know. Yeah. We still need to do let me close this out real quick. Uh all right. This is our match review number two, and a lot more to come. Hope you enjoyed it. Sh- comment, share, like, subscribe. We want to hear from you guys. What you guys want to hear more about for the match reviews, and so we can make the content better and more interesting. So thank you. Check us out again. We're trying to push out new content every week. If we miss a week, just subscribe and you'll get notified. All right. Thanks, everybody.